Support for WYES is made possible by Mary Lou Kristovich in memory of her husband, William Kristovich.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Poppy Tooker, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO Radio, and soon, and podcasting too.
Podcasting too,
yes.
We'll talk about that soon.
Yes, and making his Steppin Out debut, Barrett, DeLong Church, here to talk about the Krewe of Armeinius Bal Masque. He's one of the captains. It's their 50th anniversary, and by day, he's a professional photographer. Good to see you. Hello. We have so much going on today, and of course, it's all carnival filled. First up, Miss Poppy.
Well, Peggy, it's been a hard carnival already because number one, it's so short. So that means we have to eat so much king cake in just a short period of time. And something has happened with king cake this year. It has just exploded into every form, every flavor, and do you say d'auberge or do you say d'auberge?
I say d'auberge, but I certainly accept d'auberge.
Well, you know, they always called it d'auberge at my house. So whatever you call it, that's what this is.
Wow.
And it's from Rouse's Bakery. It's 6 layers. It's got cream cheese filling in the 6 layers, and it's got a little bit of cinnamon. So I think when we eat it, when the show is over, it's going to actually taste like king cake. Isn't it adorable?
It is adorable, and you got the little baby on the top.
The little babies on
Precious.
top, and it's that real hard fondant icing, just like Beulah Ledner.
Absolutely.
Isn't that terrific? So keeping along in that theme, you can make almost anything from a cocktail to a dessert taste like king cake with the secret ingredient of the king cake syrup by Cocktail & Sons. It's in the liquor section. It's in liquor stores everywhere. It's delicious. It's limited edition. It's only available at Mardi Gras. And I hear there's a great price on it at Rouse's. Just saying. Now, let's go on from there. And I want to tell you about Cavan. Now, Cavan is not directly on the parade route. This is the restaurant that's on Magazine Street. It's right across the side street from Harry's Ace Hardware. And the chef, Nathan Richard there, is doing some incredible things. One of the things they're doing is they have brunch every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that means, take note, it's impossible at this point to get Friday Mardi Gras lunch reservations. That a lot of people haven't thought to make them at Cavan, where the party is always going on. It's a short walk to the St. Charles Avenue parade route, right there. And let me show you some of the other things they're making there. Now, you can get this in a full size to go, to pre-order, or tiny individual crawfish and goat cheese king cake with cream cheese pepper jelly, crab fat sugar, and Cajun caviar as a garnish. So that's what what it looks like if you buy a whole one. But if you order it there at the restaurant, it comes in this delicious little yummy individual. And they also have a king cake donut for dessert there with cream cheese strawberry Bavarian filling. Now, Gracious Bakery, big Mardi Gras news there. Now, of course, their new location on Britannia is really just a short walking distance from Jefferson and Magazine, where so many of the Mardi Gras Uptown parades start now. They've got some great stuff at Gracious Bakery. You can run by any of their locations and get fabulous gifts for hostess gifts. We all need lots of them. How about this gorgeous Mardi Gras layer cake? Look how beautiful that is. And these little individual Mardi Gras bites, they just look like a celebration. Also, it's good to know they've got lots of savory to go there too. We had a lox and bagel that was delicious. Also, they make an herbed goat cheese, pickled beets, and spinach on rye with lox sandwich. And the St. Charles Avenue location will be open for extended hours all throughout the Uptown parades. So they've got full bar service with drinks that'll include the Gracious Rum Punch and Bloody Marys. And they're having a special Mardi Gras menu with hot food for parade nights, like Mississippi pot roast sandwich, an andouille sausage roll, and then the most important thing, portalette wristbands. You always have to know where to go.
Good to know.
You can do that right there. And then another, you know, thank God Napoleon is finally back to normal. And one of my favorite places, Il Posto, over on Dryad Street, closed and is now Le Baguette's Banh Mi Cafe. This is really great Vietnamese food. They're open every day from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. So you can hop in there between parades. They've got pho, banh mi. They've got steamed buns. They even have an oyster steamed bun that is just crazy delicious. And there's their Vietnamese coffee. That'll get you going in the morning if nothing else will. And if you are not necessarily a fan of Vietnamese food, they've got all sorts of regular delicious food too, like a California turkey panini. So you can get whatever you need. It's right there, just steps off the parade route.
Well, I was going to ask you, what would it be close to? What would be?
It's almost across from the Old Charlie Steakhouse.
Okay,
well, that's just right up the street from Manally's.
Very good.
Dryad.
Thank you, Poppy. Lots of great choices there. New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Dennis Milliner gave us the names of 2 of the 3 stops that Rex makes to offer toast on Mardi Gras Day. Those are Gallier Hall, the Intercontinental Hotel, and the Cockholm, also known as the Dowman Mansion. Now, tonight's question: what is used to pull the King's Float in the Sparta Parade? And what is the source of illumination spread throughout the parade? Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes: a copy of Errol Laborde's book, Mardi Gras, Chronicles of the New Orleans Carnival, and a copy of New Orleans Mardi Gras Moments with photos by Judy Petoni and text by me. Thanks to Pelican Publishing for the books. And we also have a dish towel with the message "Love is King Cake" from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. We also have a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, or the Butterfly Garden and Insectarium. Now, be sure to try the Bug Appetit Kitchen's Cricket King Cake. And if you go to the Insectarium, they're going to have slices, free samples, you know, as many as they have. And we actually have one on our table tonight. So we have, you just saw the photo of it. But the little crickets on top kind of look like pecans. And
I'm glad they're not moving.
I'm going to be trying a piece in just a bit. So yes, and they're not moving. So that's good news. Anyway, go to WYS.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events. You can also link to our WYS YouTube channel so you can see our show. And now, Barrett, Armeinius, 50 years.
That's right. Armeinius has finally hit its 50-year mark, and this is a monumental occasion for our crew. It's hard to believe that 50 years ago, when we started, it was not only criminalized by the city, but a lot of these men risked their lives and their very livelihoods just to put on this fabulous art. I mean, nowadays, we are completely endorsed by the city. We've brought it back into the city for this 50th year. We were traditionally at the Singer Center, the Singer Center out in Chalmette, and it was really wonderful to be able to bring it back in and have such an open reception, especially from the city. It's remarkable the amount of progress we've made in our society.
Absolutely. Now, I think, was it the Krewe of Yuga was one of the earliest gay carnival organizations.
That's
but
correct.
Armeinius was up there, and I know we have some photos of earlier days in black and white, and thank you for sharing then your more recent photographs too. But obviously the costumes are becoming more and more elaborate, but those are the early days, and some of the founders like Albert Carey, the architect.
That's right. Albert Carey is one of our earliest members. However, our founder, Wendell Stepovich, is still alive, and he's absolutely a wonderful person, and he's been an integral part of our crew in the past few years here.
These
really
photographs
wonderful.
are incredible.
That is my husband. That is my husband, Bo.
Oh my goodness, it's absolutely gorgeous. And so these days, so for the longest time, I still say the St. Bernard Civic. I know it's called the Singer Center now too. But tell us about how that came to be in terms of the crew being in St. Bernard.
Absolutely. So people always ask that question of why we would move out to Chalmette, and it's actually really interesting. So back in the early 70s, it was a terrible time to get any kind of venue at all as a gay organization. So a lot of times we rented out of black labor halls because they would share time with us. It was really incredible the amount of generosity that these men of labor clubs would offer to these gay crews. However, after an incident that had happened where we had lost the ball facility just a week before the ball, we were able to move it into to the Sigger
St.
Center, or I
Bernard,
guess the St. Bernard Center, because one of our members, Albert Carey, was the architect of the facility. Wow. It's really
Incredible.
amazing. And because of that, they never really asked questions. They were always inviting. And never once the balls were moved there, never once were they raided again. And it was an incredible part because at the time, gay Mardi Gras was spreading like wildfire. It went up at one point to 15 crews, all of them packed out the houses every single time. Now, not all of them were at the Chalmette St. Bernard Center. Right. Some of them were even at the municipal auditorium.
Really?
However, you know, the AIDS epidemic really decimated it. And we went from 15 crews down to 4. And then lucky for the community that Lords of Leather was able to form themselves in the 80s, and they are still an active crew with us today.
Barrett, let me ask you, now today you've got the Bal Masque, and I know tickets have gone rapidly, but tell us about, I know there are still a few left, tell us about this year's.
So what we have left now is standing room. Now, as we get closer to it, people do sometimes drop out, so it's always worth checking out the site. However, we have standing room only currently available, very economically priced at $20.
Oh, such a deal.
But we have benches there, and you don't have to stand the whole time. It's not, we just call it the standing gallery. It's not a table is why. But the dress code for that is just come dressed to impress. So you don't have to drag your tux out for if you're up in that gallery area. So it's a great way if you need to be introduced into the world of gay Mardi Gras. It's a unforgettable ball, and I really suggest anybody in town who's never seen it, this is the one to see.
And it's open to all, which is wonderful.
It's open to all. We do not discriminate, and we definitely want everybody who may have even questions about what we do to definitely come and see it because it is a spectacle that can only be experienced firsthand.
Thank you, Barrett, very much. And speaking of carnival stuff, earlier today, visiting our studio were members of a popular Mardi Gras group that puts new meaning in the term rock and roll. One of the highlights of the more recent New Orleans Carnival is, of course, lots of great marching groups and some rolling groups, if you will. I'm here with members of the crew of the Rolling Elvi. Of course, they just love Elvis in all forms of his career, different phases of his career. First, I have a jailhouse rocker, by day Phil Martin, but you have a nickname for the crew, for you.
Yes, I'm known in the crew as Quackers.
And what are you depicting here?
This is Vince Everett in the Jailhouse Rocker movie with the song by the same name.
And so what are you all throwing this year?
We have some old standards, but we have some new throws. We have this cape you see here. We have a takeoff of the 68 special, the leather koozie, and we also have flashing logo Elvi medallion.
Now, I'm sure that's going to be extra popular, too. Now, there's also a group called the Priscillas. Tell me about that.
Priscillas are a group of, as it sounds, Elvis and Priscilla, and they ride floats in the parade with us, and they're a support group and representing Priscilla.
And you're in Choctaw and Iris and music.
That's correct.
All right, and you'll be rolling. Now, let's see this bike right here, the scooter. This is yours?
Yes, that's my scooter. I'll be rolling in those 2 of those 3 parades with that.
All right. How much fun is that? And I noticed the duck because of Quackers. Yes?
That's correct.
Let me back up so you can see it. This is great. A really great view of all of this. Elvis and Quackers, the comeback special. Now that's kind of your theme this year, huh? The comeback special.
Yes, it's the 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary of Elvis's comeback special.
Thank you so much. And we've got Kessinger Valenti, and tell us what you're wearing and why.
I am wearing the gold lame suit that Elvis first wore in February of 1957. He went on to wear it in many of his albums, the most popular being
all the
comeback specials.
Of course. Now tell me about what you've got on your neck. That's pretty cool.
These are our signature Elvis throws. which we
And so
hand
you'll
out
be
to
handing that out?
very special people.
Ooh, so I
Only
get
the
to be
special
special.
people get the good throws.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate you
Thank you.
being here. And we have
Hey.
the Reverend Ray Canada, because that's what
call
he
me
does. Hollywood. That's your nickname,
That's my
right?
nickname.
So when it's not Mardi Gras, though, he really is a reverend. And
I am.
where are you?
I'm senior pastor at Redeemer Presbyterian Church on St. Charles.
All right.
in
And
Uptown.
what are you depicting in terms of what
This is our theme this year.
Okay.
The 68 Comeback Specials, 50th anniversary. So our dolls are 68 Comeback Special pleather, and you saw our koozies. One of our polystone throws is a 68 Comeback theme, and yeah,
Are you in every parade?
everyone but one this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's almost 200 people these days.
It is, yeah.
And many of them on the scooters, right?
Yes,
Ray?
yeah. About we were limited to 100 riders in the
Okay.
parades, and then we have the Memphis
Safety
Mafia.
first.
Safety
Always
first,
safety.
yeah.
And the Memphis Mafia, what's that?
Those are sort of like our pledges. They're the first-year probationary members, and they do security and keep things in order while the rest of us clown around. And then we have a Priscilla that are in the floats, and then we have a band. DC Harbold will be singing for us.
Good. Well, thank you all so very much for being with us. Happy Mardi Gras, and look for them in those parades. Let's boogie. You can catch the crew of the Rolling Elvi tomorrow in the Choctaw Parade, also next week in Muses and Iris. Visit the Rolling Elvi's website or their Facebook page to get more information. Now it's time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we're featuring two works of art featured in the Carol Robinson Gallery's current Mardi Gras group exhibit. This is Vigil by Jerry Allen. Ooh, so pretty. And we have Party Dress by Kathy Hegman. These, as well as works by other artists, will be featured in the Mardi Gras group exhibition all through February. Visit Carol Robinson Gallery's website for more info. You know, since 1872, the highlight of Mardi Gras Day, one of the many highlights, there are many highlights, but truly a highlight, is the Rex Parade. Here is a sneak peek at this year's rolling tableau. New Orleans is having a big birthday, and the 2018 Rex Parade will focus on the first of our 3-century history.
The theme for 2018 is L'Ancienne Nouvelle Orléans. This is a celebration of the tricentennial of the founding of New Orleans, and it has everything from geography, Father Mississippi, to the founders, the great planner, Depouget, historic figures and events. It's a real mix of things that made New Orleans in the first 100 years.
The challenge with any theme is to make sure that the float titles can actually be developed into beautiful floats. So we have wonderful artists who work to accomplish that. We also want to tell a story. This is one of the few Rex parades that actually runs sequentially. The first float you'll see that is the themed float, Father Mississippi, is the very beginning. And the very last float, Andrew Jackson and the Battle of New Orleans, in between are 18 beautiful floats that illustrate the history and the events and the people of that time.
The 18 floats are constructed by Kern Studios. Of course, there are bound to be favorites.
Actually, I have two favorite floats this year. This is one, Father Mississippi. Raymond Bowie did a magnificent job on this float.
Schindler's other favorite depicts Sister Henriette DeLille, a New Orleans nun who founded the Sisters of the Holy Family and is on the path to canonization.
Mark Olivier, who manages the prop shop over at Kern Studios, suggested, well, instead of having another 3-meter figure, what about doing her in stained glass? And it worked so beautifully. Tina McCroskey, who does the bulk of the prop painting, did a fantastic job. I mean, the front of the float looks like a stained glass window.
While parade goers may only view the floats briefly as they pass by, the Rex organization also makes an effort to share this rolling tableau, imbued with history, as a learning experience.
An initiative that Rex has undertaken for many years is called Rex in the Classroom. After 12th night, on our website, we'll put up materials about this year's parade, including notes on each of the floats and illustrations. And we'll invite classrooms around the city and around the country, around the world, to use those materials to develop lessons, art, and so on. This year we're going to try to use social media to bring some of those images, perhaps some nice float designs from classrooms, and make those available to the public.
One of this year's most poignant floats is the depiction of the tragic fire that struck the city on Good Friday in 1788.
This easily could have destroyed the city forever. One of the things I love about that float is that it illustrates our resilience. We have survived fire and flood, pestilence. We even have a yellow fever float in this parade. New Orleans is a resilient place with people who love her dearly, and we never would have survived for 3 centuries without that.
The 2018 Rex Parade, telling stories from the city's early days to remind us all from whence New Orleans came.
Don't miss the Rex Parade. Mardi Gras Day, of course, Tuesday, February 13th. It will start at Napoleon and South Claiborne Avenues and then end at Canal and South Peter Street. Go to their website, rexorganization.com, for details. And now it is time for a show and tell. You know, each year there's so many wonderful throws, and tonight we wanted to focus on the Krewe of Muses, which of course takes place next Thursday along the St. Charles Avenue route, and Coup d'etat, which of course will be on that Friday. So much good stuff. Poppy, I'll let you start.
Okay, well, here you can take some notes while you're gazing on the lovely Mona Lisa. You know,
it's actually an artist pad,
yes,
sketch
it
pad,
is. Isn't that fabulous? They always have such great things. And this little piece, I understand you can do almost anything with this. Oh, look how good it looks with what I'm wearing.
So clever. Barrett.
Oh, I've got these wonderful glass beads. It's a kind of a throwback to the early parading days before our lovely plastic beads started growing on our trees here.
D'état.
We have, of course, Coup d'etat, little football. This is always a good time. Good one for the kids. And, of course, the infamous bone. This is a light-up bone today, as you may see. You can display this on your wall.
Thank you, Barrett. And this is Muses. Look at these little footies. These are great, very, very colorful, really wonderful. Coup d'etat. It's one of those where it illuminates. Can we, okay, right? You heard that here, folks. You know, in Muses there's the rubber duckies, the ducky float in the bathtubs and all that. And here's a ducky. Aww. And then I guess this could hold what, either a 6-pack
or your lunch. Depending on which way you're going.
Or lunch. Anyway, so that's also Krewe of Muses. But
I believe there's other parades after Muses.
Yeah, there's so many other parades, you know. And back to Elvi for a second, that special throw, that is just really so extra cool. Both Muses and Coup d'etat have a little bit of there's a little bit of similarity. They're both relating to museums. Both are very, very clever, okay? And let me just say that Coup d'etat, oh yeah, this is the dictators. You know, as usual, they're wonderful satire.
Yes,
it's just,
no
it's out
king,
in full
the
source.
dictator.
Yeah, out in full force, and I'm not going to give anything away, big secret. So, so much fun with all of that. So now, though, it's time for our picks. Poppy.
Well, keeping in the Mardi Gras theme, again, if you're looking for some place for a lunch brunch thing, either Thursday, Muses Day, or Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., there's a carnival brunch at Salon by Sucre on Conti Street with the Pussyfooters. So you can go there and have Pussyfooter pink and orange mimosas, complimentary macaroons, and lunch, brunch, or tea.
All right, Barrett.
Well, the Krewe of Armeinius has a reliance on having new membership, and if anything has inspired, you know, countless people over the years, it's just coming to join. If you're wanting to come join the Krewe of Armeinius, we actually encourage having new members come, especially those of viewers out there. But that is on Sunday, March 4th. This is after Mardi Gras. You go to the Armeinius Den. That is at 433 North Broad Street. It's
Right by
be
the Sewage and Water Board.
It is right by the Sewage and Water Board pump station, and it's also by Whole Foods there.
Oh yeah, try to.
And so if you just head on in there, it's at 3 p.m. We always look for new members, and you can learn a whole bunch about our crew. We're very specialized.
Okay, and this is kudos to you, kiddo. This is the most amazing book. It's called Unveiling the Muse, and is a history of the Gay New Orleans Carnival. And you have photos in this. Congratulations.
That's right. Oh, thank you.
But it's really an important book, and we just want to congratulate Howard Phillips Smith. Did a great job in the forwards by our friend Henri Schindler. By the way, I'm wearing a Muses. I'm sure you're not too surprised. This is a Muses throw. And
looking good.
How much fun is that, too? And kicking off my picks, we wanted to remind everyone that Lundegrod Riverwalk is happening in a different place this year. But first, let's look back at last year's event with WYS's Errol Laborde leading the Carnival Countdown along with Mayor Landrieu, Stephen Hales as Rex, and Adonis Expose as Zulu.
We're going to have a countdown, all right away. Okay, we're going to have a countdown, so let's come. We're going to start from 10 to 0, all right, and with the countdown. So let's go ahead and start. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
David. And thanks to videographer David Donzi for that footage. And this year, the location for the celebration is actually at the Julia Street entrance to the Outlet Collection of Riverwalk. Spanish Plaza is currently under renovation, and it will be a day of great music. You see look at Rock and Doopsie and all kinds of great folks. And of course, the culmination is 6 p.m. with the arrival of Rex. Now, my picks. Abbey Artworks at St. Joseph Abbey will be holding a weekend workshop titled The Shocking Truth About Color, which will focus on artistic exercises featuring color, space, and mixing color. And that will be next weekend, February 9th to the 11th. The fee includes room and board for the entire workshop. The New Orleans Baby Doll Ladies Walking Parade will be rolling on Mardi Gras Day at 7:35 a.m. The parade will start at the old Firehouse Museum on Washington Avenue, Uptown, and will end at the Backstreet Cultural Museum on Henriette DeLille Street in Treme. Visit their website and click on their calendar, and you can see the entire route. And we really want to congratulate them. That's a really great group, and it's growing and growing. It's wonderful. And WYS's annual broadcast of the Rex Ball and Meeting of the Courts of Rex and Comus will be broadcast live Mardi Gras night starting at 7:30 p.m. We are, of course, on WYS, and we'll be streaming live, too. And next Friday, our Steppin Out, It's Carnival Time special will be on in this time slot with Arthur Hardy and Errol Laborde. And what is the theme for Armeinius? We didn't say that.
Well, it is Nouvelle Orleans, 300 Years of Fabulous. We're reclaiming all of our gay history.
Wonderful.
With satire, of course.
Thank you, of course. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Peggy.
And thank you so much for watching. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras.
Quite the potpourri. I love it.